Major Tesla and Elon Musk news have just been confirmed, and Tesla stock investors will be relieved after hearing this. Elon Musk reportedly now oversees Tesla sales in North America, Europe, and the Middle East and Africa. Additionally, Elon has assumed oversight of people previously led by Drew Baglino. TheInformation.com confirms that at least 35 executives now report directly to Elon Musk. People that have been concerned about Elon Musk being distracted right now are all relieved. Elon Musk is definitely going to pay more attention to Tesla going forward. This is wartime Elon. With a lot more attention on Tesla, some investors will go from complaining, oh, Elon is not spending enough time on Tesla, to, oh, Elon's making the wrong decisions. But Elon Musk's track record shows that when it really matters, eventually Elon Musk gets it right. Wartime Elon is about game theory. First mover advantage is everything for a new technology. If Tesla waits till FSD is fully solved before building a robotaxi, that would set them back 2 years. That's 2 years of building market share, awareness, and in harder terms, manufacturing scale. Even if they did wait until FSD was solved to build a robotaxi, they would likely still be at least a few years ahead of any competitor. By not waiting and building a robotaxi factory while the software is still being solved, it will only add to their lead if they can pull it off, of course. No other CEO has the brass balls to do this, and no other CEO is as likely to pull it off. And with big risks come big rewards. Just a 2-year lead can result in market dominance. Uber launched in 2010, Lyft launched in 2012. Uber now has more than twice the revenue of Lyft, and Uber has positive net income, something that Lyft has never achieved. With a 3 to 5 year lead and in a domain like hardware rather than software, Tesla's market dominance in robotaxis will be Google or Amazon-esque. And with Elon having consolidated some more power, he is going to have even more impact on Tesla going forward. A landmark event occurred in the US just now, and Elon Musk says this will increasingly be the case. On Tuesday night, battery storage became for the first time the largest source of supply in the California grid, which delivers electricity to the world's 5th biggest economy. And of course, Tesla will greatly benefit from this trend in the long term by supplying megapacks to these battery storage facilities. And we know that Tesla is expanding that business as we speak. Tesla is going to build another factory soon for megapacks. Ooh, Elon says this was inevitable. Rivian has reportedly started a new round of layoffs. There are multiple major shifts in strategy underway at Tesla right now. For example, Tesla is ending its referral benefits in Australia and South Korea on April 30th. However, the good news is that the Cybertruck deliveries have just resumed. And if you like seeing ARK Invest buying more Tesla stock, click the like button. They just did buy quite a bit more. I'm of course excited as well. All of my stock portfolio remains in Tesla stock. And we had rumors that Tesla is going to fire 3,000 people in Germany at Giga Berlin, but Tesla only let go of 300 people. And supposedly these are not even layoffs of Tesla workers because they were temporary subcontractors. Elon Musk just replied to James Dauma saying that this post sounds about right. Robotaxi Teslas will drive 5 times the miles of personal cars. This is 5x displaced ICE miles, 5x value to users, and 5x plus profit to investors. So if Tesla stock 5x's from here, that's at least $750 per share. Tesla can keep making personal cars, but every effort should be made to accelerate the introduction of and maximize the deployment numbers and usage of robotaxi vehicles. Boston Dynamics just released this video. They say, we promise this is not a person in a bodysuit. Looks pretty interesting. Looks like a pretty small robot as well, right? Not very tall, so it wouldn't feel too threatening. They say, we are excited to show what the world's most dynamic humanoid robot can really do in the lab, in the factory, and in our lives. They have partnered with Hyundai. I wish Tesla could also partner with an automaker. I think some will be surprised by this stance that James has. As much as I have criticized Elon for his decisions and actions from 2021, he clearly earned his compensation package. A deal's a deal, in my opinion. How is this even a question? And I agree with James. I understand your point of view, but also consider mine. The breakneck speed at which he achieved the market capitalization and revenue targets required for his compensation package are also the reason why the company is collapsing right now. Those things are connected, so does he deserve it? This is one of the worst takes I've seen ever. ever. I don't think they are connected. I agree with that. He made decisions based on his managerial style, as he has always done. And James has this opinion that this time he seems to be losing his bet. And you could have said that thing between 2014 and 2019 multiple times, by the way. And you could have said the same thing about SpaceX before its first major success. Looking from the outside, it always appeared that this time Elon is going to be wrong. But you just wait a little bit longer and here he goes, succeeding again. The most important thing to build a chatbot like ChatGPT has been access to a lot of data, and then you also need a lot of compute to train the model. When it comes to full self-driving, only Tesla has this much data. The second place, you couldn't even see that with a telescope in terms of how much data they have compared to Tesla. The question is not about will full self-driving be solved, it's just a question of when exactly. And that has become even more apparent to me after trying FSD V12 and seeing the progress between V12.3.3 and the latest newest version. I mean, for the first time ever, I've been able to do this relatively difficult 30-minute drive in the city without any interventions. I could have slept through that whole drive and I would have been fine. So it is coming, but the question is when exactly. However, I would like Tesla to focus on its EV business at the same time as well. The pricing of the new Model 3 is insane. You can lease it for $300 a month, and if you factor in fuel savings, then the Model 3 will actually be cheaper to own, despite actually being quite a bit more expensive if you just buy the car in cash. The Honda Civic will cost you $25,500, the Model 3 almost $39,000. I just still don't quite understand why can't you buy the Model 3 at the end of your lease. Good Cybertruck news continues. There has been another auction, and this one has been sold for $170,000, signaling that there is very strong demand for the Cybertruck. Otherwise, you would see these auctions only reaching MSRP prices. Tesla made another statement about Elon's compensation. The statement has been made on this new website that Tesla launched in connection with its 2024 annual shareholder meeting. Elon was also required to hold any shares awarded through stock options for 5 years after the option was exercised, meaning that he was not only incentivized to achieve remarkable results at the time to earn his compensation, but to also continue to drive growth for 5 more years. So Tesla is not admitting any wrongdoing and is strongly pushing for the compensation package to be approved again. And in 2018, Washington Post actually published this about the compensation package: galaxy-sized ambitions for growth. Hold on to his shares for 5 years, a rare stipulation that's viewed as particularly shareholder friendly. I think the chances are Elon's compensation package will be reapproved, but I don't think it's a guarantee, so every vote will count. This will make perfect sense to Tesla bears. The worst CEO in the auto industry, Peter Rawlinson, the Lucid CEO, is the best paid CEO. The best CEO in the auto industry, Elon Musk, got paid $0 in the last 6 years, despite making the stock go up 857% in the last 5 years. We just learned that Tesla sent some laid-off workers incorrectly low severance packages, and Elon, in his brief email, apologized and said the issue with erroneous severance packages would be corrected immediately. Look at this new user interface. This is what you see after the latest update if your vehicle has certain hardware. It looks pretty nice. I like the animations. Looks very detailed too. Great job, Tesla team. There's a Tesla stock price target change. Deutsche Bank analyst Emmanuel Rosner downgraded Tesla's stock to a hold rating from a buy. Rosner also lowered the firm's price target to $123, down from $189, on the high likelihood of the $25,000 Model 2 getting delayed and the company's change of strategic priority to robotaxi. The previous price target was based on the $25,000 car coming late in 2025. If you remember my warning to all Tesla stock investors a few days ago, I was expecting many price target downgrades, so it's happening exactly as I thought. I would expect more to come. We got this nice chart from Roland about BYD. You can see red representing ICE vehicles, then this color representing hybrids, and green is pure battery electric vehicles. They are not abandoning their hybrids. They are basically making almost as many hybrids cars as they are BEVs. Elon replied to this post with a yeah. The robots are coming. We are witnessing the emergence of a market that will be 10 times larger than smartphones. I think more than 10 times. Just give it enough time. And so for Zad, did they poll? The robots are coming. You are excited? Scared? Don't know. Mostly people are excited. Wow, look at this robot. You can get massages. I wonder how good these actually are. Tesla has changed the pricing structure for its fast charging network in Europe. The membership fee, which allows non-Tesla EVs to be charged at superchargers at a reduced rate, has been reduced from 13 euros to now 10 per month. Oh, and Tesla just started accepting questions for Q1 earnings calls, so go ahead and submit those now. Goldman Sachs just released a new note. They say the bottom line is that we believe Tesla is among the leaders in autonomy ADAS technology, and in the long term, we believe that software and digital services can be a meaningful driver of its business. Their 12-month price target is $175. They admit that revenue from robotaxis could be significant longer term, with a range of scenarios around trips per day, average revenue per trip, and number of robotaxis in operations, which is what they are displaying right here. Wall Street analysts are actually doing some thinking about robotaxis. As Tesla gets really close to solving FSD, and especially after it solves FSD, I think we can count on Goldman Sachs to increase their Tesla stock price targets accordingly, but of course after the stock rallies. Oh wow, the new 2025 Audi RS e-tron has quite a suspension. This video is not sped up, by the way. Wow, looks like Elon is going to put another project on his plate. He just did another poll. Should we bring back Vine? He did that poll back in 2022 as well. Now, interestingly, the results are exactly the same, 69.6% in both cases. Or yes, bring back Vine, which is basically like YouTube Shorts, but they would be on X, of course. Elon seems to be fairly focused on Tesla right now, but he'll probably dedicate some time to this project. Here's definite proof that Tesla's newest FSD version definitely slows down for potholes, although in my case, it does not slow down as much as I would like it to slow down. More Tesla software updates. I like this one. Speed camera chime. Hear a chime when you are approaching a speed camera. We know that Tesla is going to unveil a robotaxi, and remember that Elon liked this photo before saying good design, so maybe this is sort of what we are going to get. If we get a car like this, I think the stock would rally, because many investors would think, well, if FSD is not solved, I think consumers are going to buy this vehicle. You just need to add a steering wheel and pedals, which really shouldn't be difficult to do. So AJ is making some predictions. He believes the robotaxi will be a two-seater. However, its cargo space, big enough for 2 large pieces of luggage plus 2 carry-ons, can be used for 2 additional seats. That type of vehicle is popular in Asia, but rather rare in Western markets. And when transporting 4 people, you have to basically put your stuff on your lap because there's no space in the trunk. So conceptually, it's like putting the back seats down. Most rides are for just 1 person and occasionally for 2 people, so it would make sense to do a 2-seater. And here are the most popular questions that will be asked on the earnings call, going from the most popular to the least popular. What is the status of 4680? What is the current output? I think everyone wants to know about this. What is the current status of Optimus? Are they currently performing any factory tasks? When do you expect to start mass production? What is Tesla's current assessment of the pathway toward regulatory approval for unsupervised FSD in the US, and how should we think about the appropriate safety threshold compared to human drivers? Following Tesla's robotaxi unveil on August 8th, what is the realistic timeline for launching a revenue-generating robotaxi network? What's the progress on the cheaper next-generation vehicle? Yep, I want to know about this. And is it really put on the back burner, or is the Tesla team working on both the robotaxi and the consumer-focused next-generation vehicle as well at the same time? Just not as much as Tesla team did before. So is it completely on the back burner, or are people still working on it somewhat? Can we make FSD transfer permanent until FSD is fully delivered? Yeah, as a Tesla stock investor, I would be fairly happy if we made FSD transfers possible until FSD is determined to be safer than human driving. This would be quite bullish if we can get some sort of confirmation. Have any of the legacy automakers contacted Tesla about possibly licensing FSD in the future? I assume No, but if the answer is yes, ooh, remember that Tesla stock rally last year, about a year ago now, when Tesla made its first supercharging deals with Ford and GM? Ooh, the stock rallied. I think the stock would rally much harder if that happens with FSD licensing. So instead of going just to $300 per share, I think $400 per share would be within reach. Even if FSD doesn't get much better very quickly, but just because these companies would be licensing the technology, I think that alone would start a big rally. What's the progress on the Cybertruck ramp? What's the timeline for the release of the Tesla robot? I think the answer to that question that Elon is going to give is, I don't have a crystal ball. If Elon needs one, I can hand it to him. What are Tesla's main priorities and focus going into this next quarter? Robotaxi, FSD, and autonomy, I think. What's the timeline for scaling the Semi? I actually want to know about this, but I think it largely depends on the 4680 batteries. And I do want to know about this. What is gating the production ramp at Lathrop? Where do you see the Megapack run rate by the end of the year? Can we get an official announcement and timeline of the $25,000 vehicle? Not on the earnings call. Elon will say this is not a place to make product announcements. I think this question is likely to be upvoted more. The recent reports that the low-cost Tesla Model 2 is being put on hold in favor of the Robotaxi initiative seems to be a huge, risky gamble. Could you please share thoughts on why you feel this is the right approach to settle concerns of investors such as myself? I assume that Elon Musk will talk about this in the beginning or in the first half of the earnings call before getting to the questions. And Elon made a comment on X very recently that FSD is what really matters the most. Everything else is like a variation on a horse carriage. And I want to know the answer to this question. Will Tesla allow the purchase of the vehicle after the lease ends? I am a bit surprised that not more people are asking about FSD. What is the progress on the March of 9s on FSD? Please provide a timeline on when the first few 9s can be produced. How will Tesla prove the March of 9s to the public? And can Tesla publish, and this is the most important part to me, a detailed report every quarter regarding FSD efficacy? The reason why I say it's important is because I just did, on the latest FSD version, a 30-minute drive, no interventions, for the first time, not even a pedal press, nothing. And it's a drive that I often do. If I just keep doing that same drive, if the new version is better, how will I know that FSD is actually any better? It was already perfect during that drive, basically. Now, I think, at least for the next few months, it will be still pretty easy because I did take my car to downtown Vancouver during rush hour traffic. And there was a basketball game or some sort of sporting event going on, and there were so many more cars than usual. And on top of that, there was rush hour traffic, so it was insane. That drive was about 2 hours long. Did I have to disengage? Yes. Did I have to disengage a single time because of a safety critical thing going on? No. It would have actually been safe during this 2-hour drive. Now, it would have gotten a few honks? Yes, because its lane selection sometimes is, well, there are 50 cars in front of me. Okay, and I know I'm gonna go right, and I have to be on this particular lane. But Tesla right now likes to go in the middle lane and then sort of not exactly at the last second it realizes that it's in the wrong lane and it needs to change, but it's gonna get a few honks. So pretty much every single disengagement that I had, and I had maybe 8 or 10 disengagements during that 2-hour drive, and almost every single one of them was because of the lane selection issue. And then I had 1 or 2 disengagements because I saw a pothole and the car was slowing down, but not enough and my back was hurting, so I really did not want to take any chances there. However, I will say this. I think this latest version, at least for me specifically, I'm not sure how it is for you specifically, but in my specific situation in Vancouver, lane selection with the latest version has gotten a little bit better. So once Tesla solves this lane selection issue, how will I be able to know that it has gotten any better unless I go for like a 10-hour drive? It will be really difficult to start tracking the progress carefully unless we have access to this broad data. The only other disengagements that I had during that 2-hour drive were because of the navigation routes. I did not like some of the route selection, so I just disengaged and I made a turn in another direction. So no safety critical disengagements. On V12.3.3, I actually had some safety related disengagements the last time I did this drive. And it wasn't even during the rush hour traffic. Not everyone, though, is having the same experience that I'm having. Some people are saying that this new FSD version is slightly worse for them. So how do we know exactly? Is the new version better or worse? We need lots of data. And if Tesla does start sharing that data, then Wall Street can also look at that and say, okay, you're making some progress here. I can actually maybe try to put that into my spreadsheet, and putting that FSD data in the earnings reports could be quite bullish for Tesla, unless the progress is not being made. Then that would actually be bearish for Tesla. What specifically is delaying the factory in Mexico? You have said neural net training for FSD is no longer compute constrained. What is a rough breakdown of hardware versus software enhancements that led to this new paradigm? For example, compressed video versus H100 deployment. I don't really care about this question. What I want to know is, what is the current constraint? What can we do about it? Someone is asking about the timeline for the Roadster. It's going to be delayed again. I don't really care much about the Roadster right now. I think I know the answer to this question. The Chinese EV makers have made unbelievable progress with great features at ever lower prices, and so many models are flooding the market. How does Tesla plan to compete in China or globally once they can export more easily? FSD. Will AI training compute infrastructure be the largest capex item going forward? I'm sort of interested in hearing about Tesla's strategy here. Instead of a fully autonomous robotaxi, why not have it be human supervised during the rollout to work out all the bugs? Tesla can require participating drivers to use FSD for all trips. This will make it easier for customers to try it too. And someone is asking a question about solar roof tiles. I don't think this will get enough votes to be asked. What are you seeing in future FSD builds that makes you so confident that balls to the wall is the best strategy? Is the board working on a package to give Elon the 25% voting rights? I hope the answer is yes, which leads to, can it be expedited? Time is being wasted. I definitely want this question to be asked. Please, everyone, upvote this question. And I want to know about this. Can you discuss the uptake on FSD subscriptions after the reduction to $99 per month? I expect this to be discussed if the results are good, and not discussed if the results are not really all that good. Omar writes, on one hand, Tesla's fundamentals are in decline. On the other hand, look at what FSD did the other day. I think I'll buy more Tesla. Yep. FSD does that all the time when I drive, and it does it well. The first few times it happened, I was like, whoa, there's no way I will not have to disengage. And the latest version, V12.3.4, does this a little bit better than V12.3.3, at least for me specifically. Yep, I can definitely attest to this feature working not just in San Francisco, but also in Vancouver. Oh, and I saw some people asking me in the comments, which hardware am I on? I'm on Model 3, Hardware 3. Hardware 3 right now is supposed to drive a little bit better than Hardware 4, actually. Electric Fred Lambert is against Elon Musk getting his compensation packaged reapproved. I think there's a bit of important context left out here, though. For example, Tesla's board also didn't include conditions in the CEO contract and compensation package about Elon spending any time working on Tesla, which is backfiring for the last year or two. I think it would be very important to mention that under oath, Elon Musk said basically that he would have not accepted the contract if he was required to spend a certain amount of time working at Tesla. Anyway, he encourages everyone to read the judge's decision in full. If you haven't, I do suggest that you read it, but I have gone through it and I haven't found anything where I was like, oh, there's no way I wouldn't have expected that to not have happened. But it does give us a better understanding of Elon Musk and how he operates. So I think from that point of view, I think it's a good read. My channel definitely remains shadow banned to about 50% of the regular viewers. And you can see that YouTube says that by now this video should have received at least 21,000 views, but it only got 11,000, and more like maybe 25,000 views is how many views it should have received. And look at the click-through rate, it's really good. The average view duration is higher than average. To fight against this shadow ban, please click the like button. That will definitely help. If you haven't subscribed but you regularly view my videos, make sure to subscribe as well. That's like a super like, so that also really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And I also see comments like, yeah, I have to search you every day now, but I still do it because your insight is so pertinent. So censorship on YouTube is definitely a very real thing. For now, I will continue uploading to the Clips channel as well, full videos that I upload here on the main channel. But for the Clips channel, in the beginning of the video, I will always record something unique just for that channel only, and I will always put a timestamp. So if you have watched the main video already, you will know exactly when the video restarts. So YouTube is being a Tesla stock bear. To fight that, click the like button, which will help me get out of that YouTube algorithm's penalty box quicker. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.